Thank you, Carolyn, for that positive inspiration. As many of you know, it was the IPA Effectiveness Awards last night, and congratulations to all of the winners. For those of you that missed it, I'm now going to do a short recap of the cases that took home bronze, silver and gold last night. 25 papers were awarded out of the 64 entries into the awards. This might well seem a little harsher than the norm, but according to Stevie Spring, chairman of the British Council, chairman of the mental health charity Mind and chairman of these awards, all 64 entries should really feel like winners as they struggle through adversity, not only to deliver effective communications activities, but also to get their paper over the fence at a time when, frankly, the eyes of the international marketing and advertising industry were elsewhere. But what did we learn about those 25 that made it through the 3 panels of judges? Well, firstly, there was a mix of sectors with supermarkets, banks, retailers, alcohol and automotive all strongly represented in the winning lineup. But we also saw advertising's important role in boosting tourism, in recruitment for the NHS, for the Royal Navy, public sector advertising for PPI deadlines and charity advertising for international relief programmes for hospitals, as well as interventions against male suicide and child sexual exploitation. So advertising's role as a driver of business growth, as a contributor to national economies and in educating and informing the public was reaffirmed through our 25 winners. The awards also saw international representation throughout the winners and within the activities awarded. Trophies are going out to Australia, Italy, Singapore, Canada, as well as the UK. And global campaigns included Heineken Zero, Guinness, Baileys, as well as a broader Diageo portfolio piece. Uniquely to this market, the IPA Effectiveness Awards only exist to present a body of learning to the industry. What does that mean in practice? Well, they are non-profit making for one. Secondly, all entries are required to permit to the publishing in full of their learnings, and as such they offer an outstanding opportunity for marketers world over to learn new ways of approaching their own businesses, of tackling their measurement problems, of new insights and fresh strategic approaches. All these papers went through the same rigorous judging process to ascertain if they isolated the effect of the activity over and above all other factors and proved beyond reasonable doubt that it was the communications activity that paid back. So what sorts of things might you be able to learn from this year's crop? Well, to aid that investigation, last night all the papers were awarded thematically. This is new to the awards as there are no categories in the IPA Effectiveness Awards. The awards presentation and this recap organised the winners into the prevailing themes that came to the surface. So there are turnaround stories and challenger brands, affirmed brand believers, as well as those looking for their slice of headlines, true life stories, and those where data and technology were employed to maximum effect. And there was a celebration of commitment to long-term partnerships between client and agencies, and commitment to brand strategies. But let's start this recap with the paper that picked up the top accolade. Let's take a look at the Grand Prix winning work from Tesco.
Fewer shoppers were coming into Tesco's stores and they spent less when they did. Customers were losing trust in Tesco and its ability to provide quality food and value for money. As part of a turnaround plan, marketing's job was to rebuild trust and perceptions of quality and value. Over 5 years, pricing was simplified and new club card services added. And advertising emphasised the little ways Tesco could help customers, like no quibble returns.
Is that it?
Just gotta be honest, Roger.
In that case, I hate this shirt you bought me.
Me too.
If for any reason you change your mind about a purchase, we'll happily refund or exchange it. Tesco, every little helps.
Since 2014, scores for trust, quality and value have all increased. Like-for-like sales have grown 28% and marketing is estimated to have contributed £1.8 billion of incremental revenue.
Stevie Spring said of this case study, It's a wonderful case study of showing the value of having a marketeer in charge of a large and complex business. They made every little helps a promise to the customer, not just an end line. What a remarkable turnaround story for a brand that saw massive decline in consumer trust and profit to match. The case paper details a brand revival to the tune of £1.8 billion of revenue in 2015 to 2019. You can hear more from the authors of that paper in an interview with Harjot Singh, Deputy Convener of the awards, which will be aired tomorrow at 2 p.m. Further stories of brand turnaround came from Baileys by Mother and Carrot, which saw communications deliver 32% global volume sales growth over the 5-year period represented in the paper, and a silver award last night. And Volvo UK from Grey London and Mindshare, who also picked up a silver after rediscovering the human purpose behind its famous safety positioning. While Tango from VCCP picked up a bronze for its share stealing campaign that taught 16 to 24-year-olds how to style their way out of awkward situations. Let's take a look at another two of our themes now, with stories of commitment to the long term and of brand belief. These are important issues that will be touched on throughout all of this year's Effectiveness Week, and in particular with the Financial Times session tomorrow afternoon, where the results of the latest IPA FT readership survey into brand investment will be discussed. Last year, the IPA and the FT found that 50% of C-suite leaders, including 30% of marketeers represented within them, stated that their understanding of how to build and maintain a strong brand was average to poor. They could be helped with that by looking at the following cases. Lloyds Bank by Adam and Eve DDB and Mediacom, online furniture retailer Cotswold Co by Creature, and high street restaurant chain Wagamama all picked up bronze awards, and all demonstrated a clear belief in brand advertising over price promotion and other shorter-term activations, with Lloyds allocating a whopping 80% of its budget to brand. Let's take a look at Wagamama's story here.
In a challenging market, the Japanese-themed noodle chain Wagamama chose to win customers through brand-building advertising rather than price promotions. Wagamama aimed to grow by increasing its appeal with 16 to 34-year-olds in cities and towns who were open to different dining options. Against convention, the brand chose cinema as its main media channel for its ability to reach this group, with YouTube as secondary support. The campaign creative was a pacey ad that combined different film genres with a message that Wagamama's food nourished the soul as well as the stomach.
When something wakes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of your senses, your eyes open with your mouth and your mind.
After a successful regional test, the campaign was expanded to London and then UK-wide, with TV, outdoor and more social media added. Brand research showed improvements in the audience perception of Wagamama and its willingness to visit the chain. In 2019, advertising delivered an estimated 440,000 extra customers, with penetration growing 6% among the targeted group. This translated into an extra £20.9 million of revenue.
Well done, Wagamama, who, according to client judge Annabelle Cordelli, VP Marketing UK of Virgin Atlantic, said Wagamama had a clear idea about how it wanted to use cinema to create a mood and tell its brand story to increase penetration. A good example of a brand testing its marketing and fully analysing its results before scaling up nationwide. Well, in the long-term area, there were 4 winning stories, with WaterAid by the Kite Factory picking up a bronze, and a gold each going to John Lewis & Partners from Adam and Eve DDB and Manning Gottlieb OMD, Audi by BBH, and Guinness from AMV BBDO. Each case chronicled strong and consistent client-agency relationships, as well as a unified commitment to the core brand strategy, with unwavering consistency without stifling creativity across creative and media outputs. Let's take a look now at Guinness, which in addition to a gold award, also picked up a prize for Best Multi-Market Case.
Since 2012, Guinness advertising has focused on communicating one central idea, that it is a beer with more character for people made of more character. A key part of this strategy has been to build on the brand's associations with rugby, telling surprising character stories from rugby to align Guinness with the sport's growing popularity and help the brand stand out at tournaments such as the Six Nations and the Rugby World Cup. Stories like that of two brothers honouring their late mother's memory by attending Six Nations matches.
She left us strict instructions to spend every last penny on the Six Nations.
Or a Japanese women's team that defied its critics to play the game with passion. It also ran an unexpected campaign urging rugby fans to moderate their alcohol intake by drinking more Guinness Clear, actually tap water. Since 2012, the strategy has returned an estimated £4.81 for every £1 invested.
Our client judge, Cheryl Calverley, CEO of Eve Sleep, said of Guinness, it's an absolute masterclass in long-term brand building and the impact that you can have on a brand, a business, society and culture. But other award winners employed short-term tactics designed to earn their slice of media with innovative headline-making communications ideas. These included an animatronic model of Arnold Schwarzenegger's head used to encourage people to make a decision before the deadline for PPI insurance claims from M&C Saatchi and Manning Gottlieb, OMD. 84 lifelike models placed precariously on London's ITV Tower to draw attention to male suicide in the UK from Calm, the campaign against living miserably by Adam and Eve DDB. And this case for KFC by Ogilvy Australia. Let's take a look at it.
To win over consumers sceptical of its food quality, KFC played to Australians' love of an underdog. A PR and earned media campaign was based around a remote KFC outlet applying for a fine dining Michelin star, with the store owner as the underdog.
Technically, I meet all the criteria.
Right.
And here we are. What do you think?
Oh, you gotta be joking. You ain't gotta be joking.
He's flying from the Alice to Paris.
Media coverage of the owner travelling to France to apply for the star followed, sparking widespread interest on social. Post-campaign research showed improvements in the perception of KFC's food and its brand. For a media spend of $1.1 million Australian dollars, the campaign generated more than an estimated 90 million Australian dollars of incremental revenues in 6 months, making it one of the most effective and efficient in the brand's history.
All 3 cases in this section picked up a bronze award, and of KFC, as Mitha Dubey, Chief Digital Officer of L'Oréal and a client judge, noted, it was impressive to have such good cultural impact, a really good low-budget paper with lots of ambition and lots of results. Now, last night's ceremony also saw a further 4 awards delivered to brands who all adopted challenger mindsets. 2 picked up bronzes, with Aldi UK from McCann Manchester and Game Theory, and Heineken from Publicis Italy and Starcom Netherlands. And 2 picked up silvers, Gordon's from Diageo and Anomaly London, and Heinz Seriously Good Mayonnaise from BBH. Whilst Aldi sought to improve on its 2010 position of 2% market share, despite 20 years trading in the UK, Heineken was looking at how to globally launch its 0% alcohol variant and change perceptions of that choice from a compromise to a positive. And silver-winning Gordon's balanced a new berry variant, Gordon's Pink, with a relaunch of the market leader and attracting new drinkers to brand and gin. But let's check out Heinz, because I've been told there was a Heinz mayonnaise cream egg promotion. That sounds intriguing.
Heinz Seriously Good Mayonnaise was a hit new product in 2016. 2 years later, however, sales had stalled. The brand's promise to upgrade your mayonnaise wasn't cutting through with enough customers to prompt them to try it, and a more radical challenger strategy was adopted to shake up the category and restart the brand's growth. Different advertising creative was developed, poking fun at the market leader, Hellmann's. Large outdoor sites were used to grab attention, and TV ads ran more frequently to increase brand awareness. New variants, including a mayo cream egg, also generated PR and social media coverage. Following its strategy shift, sales of Heinz Seriously Good Mayonnaise grew by 66% in 2 years, and value share rose from 10% to nearly 17%.
According to client judge Fernando Machado, global CMO of Burger King, Heinz is a big brand that had a lot to lose. But instead of playing not to lose, it played to win and acted like a challenger brand. And that paid off in market share conquered. If you want to hear more from Fernando about Burger King's own award-winning strategies, or from other judges from the awards about things they have learned along the way, then stay tuned, as they are the very next 2 sessions coming up. A change of pace now, and 3 award winners that told life stories in order to engage the audience with sensitive topics and drive behavioural change. Mullenlow London and Bray Lino took home a bronze for the Truth Project paper, which was a real story about the power of advertising responsibly. Their challenge was to raise awareness of the Truth Project, an initiative to encourage child sex abuse survivors to share their stories. Engine and Wavemaker London also took home a bronze for their Royal Navy paper, which outlined how communications exceeded targets 5 years running for expressions of interest in joining. And the final trophy in this section goes to NHS England for nurses recruitment from Mullenlow London, Mullenlow Open and Media Hub UK. Let's take a look at that story.
In 2018, 10% of nurses were leaving the job every year, and there were 34,000 unfilled nursing posts. Communications was needed to increase recruitment and retention by improving nursing career perceptions and staff morale. Emotive advertising communicated the camaraderie and specialisms involved in nursing over TV, radio, social and outdoor. To target A-level students and people thinking of changing career or returning to nursing, a recruitment website was simplified and a CRM program of communications was deployed to convince applicants they could do the job.
The best part of my job is being able to speak to people. Will you marry me? There is a feeling of being an individual who touches people's lives.
Results showed both growth in NHS staff satisfaction and 3,100 extra nursing recruits over 2 years.
Nurses and the NHS, never more important than now. Let's hear what Michelle McKettrick, Group Brand Director Tesco and Client Judge, had to say about this Bronze Award winner. The NHS brand is a tanker to turn around, and achieving that was really one of the most impressive things about this paper. And they demonstrated that communications save the NHS millions per year on employing temporary nurses. Well done to them. Our final theme offers a wealth of new thinking and includes not 1, but 3 special prize winners, including the winner of the IPA Effectiveness Award for New Learning. It's for those papers which demonstrated innovative use of data and/or technology to achieve their effective communications. First up, a bronze went to Formula One from Ogilvy, which created a new direct-to-fan relationship, recasting ECRM as a fast-paced, brand-building global entertainment channel and returning its investment 4-fold in 2 years. A silver went to Affinity for their Central Coast of Australia tourism paper that used novel data analysis to distinguish claimed from actual purchase behaviour and informed the campaign spanning digital, TV, PR and outdoor, resulting in an increase of 240 million Australian dollars of additional tourism revenue over 2 years. Affinity also picked up the special prize for Best International Paper. Let's have a look at the final 2 award winners here. First up, and the winner of a Silver Award and the President's Prize for Best Contribution to Effectiveness Through Technology. Here is Sick Kids from Cosset.
Donations had slowed for a $1 billion building project at Toronto's Hospital for Sick Children, known as Sick Kids. The charity behind the project forecast a $300 million shortfall if it stuck to conventional fundraising methods. A radical approach was adopted to attract more donors and differentiate the charity. The 4-year strategy aimed to give sick kids the visual identity and energetic personality of a sports performance brand to draw in male donors without alienating existing supporters. Rousing TV ads showed children and supporters actively working for the cause. Advertising messages were localised in different parts of Toronto to make residents feel more likely to give or raise money. And heavy use of outdoor media made the campaign hard to miss across parts of Toronto. Research showed the rebranded charity gained awareness and greater share of wallet versus its competitor set. After a dip in its 3rd year, the campaign was back on track to meet the $1 billion fundraising target by year 4.
Well, the judges thought that this case study demonstrated a creative solution that was brilliantly deployed across a complex number of channels towards a clear and ambitious fundraising objective. The final award winner picked up a gold as well as 2 special prizes, firstly for best use of data and secondly for best new learning. Let's see this final film, Diageo.
In 2016, Diageo committed to delivering £100 million of incremental profit from marketing within 3 years by making its working methods more effective and accountable. The approach was applied to brands in Diageo's portfolio, such as Guinness, Baileys and Smirnoff, and across both the mature and developing markets in the Americas, Africa and Australia that the company's brands are sold in. Data approaches were standardised across Diageo's marketing teams, and some key steps were taken to embed a culture of effectiveness across the company. These steps included the use of Marketing Catalyst, a bespoke tool to advise marketers on how to make marketing spend more effective, and the promotion of Creative Sparks, a program to refocus staff on the kind of creative excellence demonstrated by the company's award-winning advertising for Guinness. It is estimated this approach to Diageo's brand portfolio produced more than twice its £100 million target of incremental profit and returned its investment 16 times over.
According to Conrad Bird, Director of Campaigns and Marketing, Department for International Trade, and a 2020 client judge, this paper simply offers great new learning for every organisation that owns a number of major brands, which sounds like a must-read. Throughout the week, we will be revisiting all these themes and the winners within them with short video breaks in the conference proceedings, so you can see all 25 winning cases across the course of the week. All the papers are also now available to download from WARC, the official publishers of the IPA Effectiveness Awards, and from the IPA website. Congratulations again to all the winners, and happy reading.